This is the most powerful dollar you have today. Its potential is huge. With this dollar, you can pay off debt and get yourself to financial freedom. With this dollar, you can invest and get yourself to financial independence. Of course, how you use this dollar will be up to you. But in today's video, I'm going to share with you some guidance and help you answer the age-old question. Should you invest or should you pay off debt? We've covered a lot of videos here at Sisters Forfi to help you invest as well as help you pay off debt. But the question is, which one should you do first? Unfortunately, there is no one easy answer because there is a lot of nuance when it comes to investing, when it comes to paying off debt, it comes to your personal finances. So you do have to find the balance that works for you. So in this video, we are going to review several factors that will influence whether you are going to invest, pay down debt, or do both. We will cover the math behind it, the habits that you'll need to form, as well as the emotions that you'll need to think about when it comes to answering this question. Before you can make a decision about paying off debt or investing, there is a super critical step that you must take, and that is to fund an emergency fund. You don't have to fund full 3 to 6 months or years of expenses. You just have to put some money aside, say around $1,000, so that you have money in the bank should something unexpected happens. An emergency fund is all about giving you some breathing room, giving you some time to think about your next step so you are not in a panic should something happen. An emergency fund is also there so that you do not go further into debt or that you will not liquidate your investments for cash. So think of your emergency fund as a buffer for when something happens. To learn more about emergency funds, how to fund it, and where you should put it in, I'm going to link up this video here, which goes through a step-by-step guide on how you can get your emergency fund set up in a way that allows you peace of mind and security. Once you have that emergency fund in place, once you have that few dollars set aside as your emergency fund, now it's time to think about what you should be doing with the rest of your money. Thank you so much for joining me here today at Sisters for Financial Independence. My name is Catherine Agapjan, and here at Sisters Forfi, we cover money lessons so that you have more money to live, save, give, and pass on to the next generation. Let's first look at the math. When you invest, interest works for you. When you put $1 in, your money pile grows bigger. But when you have debt, unfortunately, interest works against you. Your money pile starts decreasing because more of your money is used to service the interest on your debt. In either case, the rate is everything. If your debt's interest rate is higher than what you could reasonably expect for your investment, there's no math in the world that says you should be investing. It's basically having a hole in your cup. No matter how much water you put in, it always leaks out. And it's the same for any kind of high interest debt. You can make as much money in your investments, but if your debt has higher interest than your investments, your money is leaking. When it comes to the question of whether you should be investing or paying off debt, you'll need to look at the interest rates of your debt. Anything above a certain percentage means you likely want to prioritize that high interest debt. If you have debt, you want to list all of your debt. Figure out which one is accruing interest at a much faster and higher rate, and you want to focus on getting that down first. If one of the debts you have is credit card debt, I'm going to be real with you right now. It is going to be hard to pay off credit card debt, especially because right now we are in what It's called a high rate environment. And even if there is a drop in rates, your credit card interest rates will probably remain around 20% And that is a lot of money going towards interest. If you are carrying credit card debt, your first priority should be to get that down and create some new habits. For example, if you owe $5,000 on your credit card and the interest rate on your credit card is 20%, and you're only paying the minimum, that means every year you are putting $1,000 towards interest alone. No investment can keep up with that. Let's be honest here. If you are carrying high interest credit card debt, you cannot afford to invest. You are broke. So you need to change your habits before you can move on to invest and carry a new mindset moving forward. On the flip side to this is your investing strategy. For a majority of people, you will likely be investing in the stock market. And for the past 10 plus years, the stock market has been returning 7 to 12%. If the interest on your debt is much smaller than what you could potentially earn in return at the market, you could reasonably start investing while paying down your debt. The most popular avenue for investing for most people is through their employer. If your employer offers a retirement account, likely a 401k or a 403b, and they offer what's called a company, it can be reasonable for you to contribute up to that company match. So in this case, you would invest into your employer's retirement account, because in that instance, that 100% match gets you a 100% instant return on your money. It is often said that the 401k match is free money, but it is not free money. There is no employer in the world who gives free money. Instead, I want you to look at the company match as part of your compensation. It is one of your benefits as an employee to that company. So you want to take advantage of it. You want to get that money so that you can build up your retirement savings for future you. The second factor that we'll need to consider when it comes to answering the question of whether you should invest or pay off debt is this concept of habits. There is a quote out there that says, broke people pay interest, but wealthy people earn interest. And one of the most powerful habits of wealthy people is consistency. If you wait until all of your debt is completely gone, you might miss valuable years of compound growth. Even starting a small amount, like 5 to 10% of your paycheck, gets you in the habit of investing. The goal when you start investing is to set up automatic recurring investments. This allows you to build that habit of consistent investing. Even if it's small, even if it's just a few dollars per paycheck, you've now gone into the motion of investing. This also allows you to practice living with less. When that money is automatically deducted from your paycheck and it goes to your investments, you've now started on the journey to building up future income for yourself. That money is not showing up in your checking account, so you don't have the opportunity to spend it. And here's the flip side to this. If you are carrying debt, you likely are in the habit of acquiring debt, and that has to change. Learning to pay off debt is a skill itself. It forces you to budget. It forces you to read the numbers. It forces you to cut back, and it forces you to be disciplined. Those lessons are going to be priceless, and they are going to ensure that you do not fall back into the habit of debt. The struggle to pay off debt will teach you better habits moving forward. And the third factor we'll need to consider when we are asking ourselves the questions of whether to pay off debt or invest is the emotional factor. Money isn't just about math. Your emotions are a big part of how you handle money. For some people, carrying debt can feel like they're carrying this heavy weight around. It can lead to anxiety, it can lead to helplessness. The reality with debt is that it eats up your current paycheck. It can rack up fees, and it could potentially impact your credit score. Debt also has a way of sticking around if you are not careful. Paying off debt can bring so much peace of mind that can't be measured in percentages. When it comes to paying off debt, there is this concept I like to call the payment-free feeling. It's the joy and the smile you have on your face and your body when nothing is getting deducted from your checking account. You're not servicing a loan, you're not paying off any debt. Your paycheck just goes to your checking account, and now you have more of it to live for today or save or invest for tomorrow. When we paid off our car loan, our payment-free feeling was $500 back in our checking account, not going anywhere, staying there until we decided what to do with it. That's the feeling I want for you when you start paying off your debt. On the flip side to this too is the emotional aspect of investing. It can give you hope to know that your money is growing for your future goals, for your future retirement, for your kids' future education. Investing is another way of looking forward to the future. Seeing money in your investment account grow can provide you this feeling of progress, and that's a powerful thing. When it comes to investing, I totally get that there is this sense of FOMO, the fear of missing out, because for the past 10 to 15 years, the stock market has been doing so well. And when you have apps like Robinhood, M1, Webull, basically encouraging all of us to trade stocks and get in the action, it can be hard not to take a step back and assess your financial situation and your financial goals. So I do want you to just be aware of your feelings towards investing. Yes, if you don't invest, you could possibly miss out on the growth of many of these companies. But you also have to look at the math, because if you are investing on one side and still carrying high interest debt on the other, those might never balance out and you could still lose out in the end. Take some time to assess your financial situation and review your goals and your plan of action when it comes to investing and when it comes to paying off debt. If you are in between investing or paying off debt, how did you decide to go one or the other, or do both? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear from you, and I think other viewers would love to hear your perspective. Thank you so much for tuning in to Sisters for Financial Independence. If this video has been helpful, give it a like and share it with a friend. And don't forget to subscribe to Sisters for Fi for more money content. So what's the answer? Do you pay off debt or do you invest? And the solution is to find a balance that works for yourself. When I first started working, my mom was very adamant that I contribute to my retirement account, to my 401k. I was not, however. I was 22, starting to get my paycheck, and all I wanted to do was live my life. I had a car loan and I had a student loan, and I didn't really pay attention to those loans. But I did listen to my mom and I started investing. I put money towards the company match and let that grow. Over time, I learned to live with the final amount that was deposited in my checking account after all of the investments were taken out. I also learned how to prioritize my debt payoff. When I was in debt, interest rates were low, meaning my student loan debts were around 2-3%, and my car loan was around 2%. So they were very minimal, and that allowed me to continue to invest while also slowly paying off debt. Now for you, I would recommend that you review your debt, because we are in a high interest rate environment. So if you have credit card debt, your credit card debt is likely around 20 to 30%. That means most of your money is getting eaten up by interest. If you graduated within the past few years, it also likely means that you have higher interest on your student loans and even higher interest on your private loans. I have a walkthrough of a debt payoff template that you can watch after this video so you can decide how you want to prioritize your debt payoff. So here's some rules I would recommend you look into. The first one is to look at your employer retirement account. See if there is a match, and if there is, contribute up to the match. It will allow you to start this habit of consistent investing. Number two is to prioritize your debt. Figure out how you can best pay it in a way that will allow you to eliminate high interest debt as fast as possible. Number three is to always revisit your strategy. You might be in a different time frame in your life. Economic conditions could change what you could be investing in, and you want to assess and get ready to pivot and change so that you are working to eliminate debt completely and invest more for the security of your future self. At the end of the day, it's about peace of mind and progress. Of course, the math matters, but so does the good money habits you form today. Some people sleep better when they're debt-free, and others love the fact that their money is growing in the background. But regardless, you want to find that balance. If you are ready to start getting serious about paying off your debt, this playlist is going to be for you. If you're ready to get investing, this playlist is going to be for you. Thanks so much for tuning in to Sisters for Financial Independence. I will see you in the next video. Bye.